My name is Isabella. My life used to be simple, peaceful, and full of happiness. For 2 beautiful years, I truly believed I was the happiest woman in the world. I had a good job, a cozy apartment, and a man I deeply loved, Ethan. He was charming, funny, and thoughtful. I loved everything about him. His smile, his laugh, the way he made me feel safe. Every moment we shared felt perfect. We cooked dinner together, watched movies, took long walks, and dreamed about our future. We planned to buy a small house, have 2 kids, and maybe a dog. Life felt complete. I was sure he was the one. I loved him so much that I decided to take the next step. After months of saving, I finally bought a ring. A beautiful diamond ring that I kept in a small box hidden in my drawer. I was planning to ask him to marry me. I imagined his smile, his surprise, and the joy in his eyes. I thought our love story was about to begin a new, beautiful chapter. But I was wrong. I didn't know that behind his smile, there was a lie waiting to destroy everything. One evening, my best friend Sophie called me. Her voice sounded strange, quiet, and heavy. She said, "Isabella, can we meet? I need to talk to you." My heart sank. I asked if she was okay, but she just said, "Please, meet me." We met at our favorite coffee shop. She was already there, sitting silently, staring into her cup. I sat down, worried, and asked what was wrong. She hesitated, her hands shaking slightly. Then she whispered, "This is really hard for me to say." My heart started beating fast. Finally, she looked up and said, "I saw Ethan with another woman." Everything around me went silent. I could barely breathe. I asked, "What are you talking about?" She said, "I was at the new restaurant downtown. I saw him there with a woman. They were laughing and holding hands. And then I saw them kiss." My world fell apart in that single moment. I wanted to believe she was lying. I wanted to protect my heart from breaking. I stood up angry and confused. "You're lying!" I shouted. "Why are you saying this?" People in the cafe turned to look at us. Sophie's eyes filled with tears. She said softly, "I wish I was lying, Isabella, but I saw it with my own eyes. I'm so sorry." I saw the truth in her eyes. My best friend wouldn't lie to me. I left the coffee shop feeling numb. I walked for hours, my mind filled with questions and pain. Every happy memory turned into a sharp blade cutting into my heart. I couldn't believe the man I loved so deeply could betray me. That night I went to Ethan's apartment. His smile disappeared. He asked, "What's wrong?" I looked at him and asked quietly, "Who is she, Ethan?" His face turned pale. His eyes filled with fear. He knew the truth was out. Tears rolled down his cheeks as he said, "I'm sorry. It was a mistake, a stupid mistake." He tried to hold my hands, but I pulled away. He told me everything. The woman was a colleague. It started with coffee, then lunch, and one night they had drinks. He said it meant nothing. He said he still loved me and begged for forgiveness, but his words were empty. I could feel it. Trust once broken can never be whole again. That night I walked away from him. I went home and cried until morning. For days I couldn't eat or sleep. The world lost its color. I thought about everything we had planned. Our future, our dreams, our love, and how quickly it all disappeared. I wanted to forgive him, but every time I looked at the ring I had bought, all I could see was betrayal. I realized I couldn't build a life with someone I no longer trusted. Love alone was not enough. A few days later, I went back to his apartment and returned his key. My voice trembled as I said, "I can't do this anymore. Ethan, I can't be with you." He cried, begged, but I walked away. Every step away from him felt like losing a part of myself, but I knew I had to. Staying would only destroy me. The next few months were the hardest of my life. I tried to distract myself with work. I worked late hours and spent weekends at the gym. Sophie and my other friends stood by me, helping me through my darkest days. They reminded me that I was not alone. Slowly, I began to heal. The pain didn't disappear overnight, but with time, it became softer. 6 months later, a friend invited me to help at a community event where volunteers were cleaning a park. At first, I didn't want to go, but she insisted. That day, I met Daniel. He had a gentle smile and kind eyes. We started talking while we worked side by side. His voice was calm and his words were simple but sincere. There was no pretending, no pressure, just honesty. Daniel was different. He listened when I spoke. He made me laugh again after so many months of sadness. We started meeting for coffee, taking quiet walks, and sharing stories about life. I felt peaceful around him. There were no lies, no games, just comfort and understanding. For the first time after the heartbreak, I felt safe again. Through Daniel, I learned something important. Sometimes life breaks your heart not to punish you, but to guide you towards something better. The love I thought was perfect with Ethan turned out to be fragile and false. But that pain opened the door to something real. A love built on truth, respect, and kindness. Today, I am grateful for everything I went through. Losing Ethan hurt deeply, but it also helped me find myself again. And in that process, I found Daniel. Someone who loves me for who I am, not for who I pretend to be. Sometimes a broken heart isn't the end. It's the beginning of a new and stronger kind of love. Thanks for watching. If you liked this story,